Okay, welcome to another episode. Today we're replacing this guy. This is an idle air control valve. If you're getting code 505, I'll show you exactly what you can do to test if power is getting to this valve. So the first thing I'm going to do is just disconnect the connector here. Verify if power is getting to this harness connector, because if it is not, then obviously the idle air control valve won't work correctly. So the first thing you want to do is turn on the ignition key. Again, just turn it on. And what we want to see here is approximately 12 volts, which is the battery voltage. In this case, we'll check two terminals, terminal 2 and terminal 5. So if we touch terminal 2, and as you can see on the multimeter, we're getting 11.8 volts, so that's good. And we'll check number 5 here, and we're getting 11.8. So this verifies that power is now getting to the idle air control valve. Now, if you're not getting power in this case, just check the wires back here. Very often they fray, they may crack, maybe they melted, whatever the case may be. Just check the wires back here. Once you wrap up that test, make sure you turn off the ignition key. And if you take a look at the idle air control valve, you have 6 terminals. What we're going to do is an ohms or a resistance reading test. First, try number 2, terminal number 2, and terminal number 1. As you can see, we have 30 ohms, that's good. And then again, terminal 2 and terminal 3, 30 ohms, perfect. Then number 5 and number 4, 30 ohms, perfect. And then again, number 5 and number 6, 30 ohms. Now the last test you can do is you have to remove the idle air control valve from the motor. And of course, for this you need such a small screwdriver. Just make sure it has a nice end, or a large enough end, otherwise it'll strip out these bolts. Just press it hard and there you go. And then just remove the idle air control valve from the body. Now for this last test, what we're going to do is plug in the idle air control valve with its harness connector, and I'll just place it right here. And what I'm going to do is turn on and turn off the ignition key. Turn on the ignition key, turn off the ignition key. And this shaft should move back and forth. So let's take a look. So that just verifies that this valve is working correctly. If you don't see any action here with the shaft, then you know that the valve is bad and it needs to be replaced.